All right, we have one more thing that we got to tell you about this morning. That's a new report from Politico that appears to reveal a leaked Supreme Court decision on the long-standing Roe v. Wade decision, which of course was credited with protecting abortion rights on the federal level. This report shows a draft. It's a draft decision by the court's conservative supermajority to possibly overturn the ruling, leaving that decision on reproductive rights up to the states and stripping constitutional protection of the ruling. This comes as several southern states in particular have passed restrictive laws on abortion at the state level, limiting the time in which a pregnancy is able to be terminated. Yahoo Finance's Alexis Keenan joins us more. We were just showing protesters outside the Supreme Court who reacted immediately to this. We should mention, Alexis, I don't think this has ever happened before, this kind of leak. And it's unclear what exactly this draft decision represents.
Yeah, Julie. So it's not unprecedented. There are reports noting that Roe v. Wade itself was a leaked case, a leaked draft there. And look, we don't know if this draft, this leak, is the final version. A lot of permutations, a lot of changes could take place before the final version, which is expected in June next month, is actually issued. Now, this is a case called Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization. And what it does is it challenges the constitutionality of a Mississippi law that bans abortion after 15 weeks. Now, if the draft, as it appears to show, is prepared to really overturn Roe v. Wade, as well as a subsequent case that guarantees the right, reproductive right to abortion in the U.S. for all Americans, along with the other cases, Planned Parenthood v. Casey, those two cases together is what offers that guarantee. So this would be a complete overhauling of this right and take it away at the federal level. Now, what's at the heart of this draft leaked opinion is saying that the authority to regulate reproductive rights, that needs to be handed back to the states, that should not be something that is governed at the federal level. Now, this draft was written by conservative Justice Samuel Alito, supposedly also joined by Justices Thomas, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett. The other conservative justices there, the one notable Justice Roberts, not necessarily mentioned in this draft here. But what it states in this preliminary majority is, quote, Roe v. Wade was egregiously wrong from the start. It goes on to argue that the power to regulate abortion just has to be handed back to the states, and that for 185 years before Roe, that's the way things were done. So a final decision, as I said before, is not expected until next month. We could see some changes, but absolutely, if it resembles at all this draft, this will really rewrite the reproductive rights that Americans have, that women have in the U.S. And already you have to look at, you mentioned some of those, the states that are giving rise to this type of litigation in the Supreme Court. U.S. companies have already taken some actions to try to protect their employees and give them some benefits that will give them access to abortion no matter what the Supreme Court decides. You already have Amazon, as of yesterday, making some travel rights available to employees who are seeking abortion and reimbursing them up to $4,000 a year. You have Apple coming out and saying that they'll offer some benefits as well. Citigroup, Yelp. You also have Lyft and Uber offering to compensate drivers for legal fees if they're sued over laws in Oklahoma and Texas that are banning abortion after a number of weeks. So this is really a huge change if what we're seeing in the draft is really the case. We'll have to keep watching for the actual release of this opinion in June.
Yeah, you mentioned Amazon. I remember Salesforce as well. Back in Texas, they were offering to move their employees. We're going to continue to track to see where this moves forward from here and the response from companies as well. Yahoo Finance's own Alexis Keenan. Appreciate it, Alexis.